My name's Sarah Jane King from the Weekend Breakfast Show. With me, John Matham, host of the Afternoon Drive Show and today's Quizmaster. It is, of course, the ultimate general knowledge showdown in the Cape. And we are streaming, as I say, on Facebook now if you want to have a look at it in studio. Saturday upon us, we have all of our winners of the week to compete against each other. It's time to put your brain power to the test in the Dis-Chem Brain of CapeTalk for a chance to win your share of a whopping 220,000 Rand and the title of 2022 Dis-Chem Brain of CapeTalk. Now, the winner of this round gets 10,000 Rand and will play with us again on the final Saturday of February. Now, for you to be a part of the action, register at capetalk.coza and play the online general knowledge game. All right, let's crack on with the adults. And our first contestant for this Saturday morning is Keith Whiting. Morning to you, Keith. How are you?
Good morning, Sarah. Very well, thank you.
Good. How are you feeling?
A lot less nervous than Monday.
Oh, a lot less nervous than Monday. That's good news. Keith is from Wellington. He was, of course, Monday's brain of the day. Works in finance. Has been listening to us here at Cape Talk for the last 8 years. But your first attempt at brain, have you been one of those people who've gone, I'll do that next year, and then this year was the year?
I entered once each time for the previous 2 years.
Right.
This year I decided to do one a day.
Okay, one a day. Good stuff. All right, there we go.
And just before we get to Keith, a couple of listeners misheard the final question, which our winner got right. They thought he was being asked for the past tense of flow, which they correctly would say would be flowed, but he was actually asked what is the past tense of the word throw, which is, as he said, through. So I hope I settled that little bit of unhappiness that a couple of you are feeling at the moment. Keith, pretty inspiring by the young ones. They did really well.
They've set a high standard for the day.
They have. Your questions are a little harder because you have had more time to cram stuff in to your brain matter. Setting the bar, I still don't know. I mean, some people like it to go first because they reckon if I have a good round, I can put a bit of pressure on them and they're going, oh, I'm never going to get that. Do you have any strong feelings one way or another about it?
At the moment, feeling a bit like the Proteas setting a bar in the last test.
Okay, so you expect to set a bar which is extraordinarily low.
Hoping not on their standard.
Okay, well, let's hope that you are underestimating your ability to cope with the questions that are going to be thrown at you in the next 90 seconds. Mario, please start the clock.
3, 2, 1.
Spell the word probably.
Probably.
Correct. Complete the saying, your family is your flesh and
Bone.
blood. From which movie series is the character Han Solo?
Star Wars.
Correct. True or false, a cul-de-sac is a dead-end street?
True.
Correct. In which sport is osturant a coach?
Rugby.
Correct. Sub is short for which underwater form of transport?
Submarine.
Correct. In which province is the town Somerset East?
Eastern Cape.
Correct. The abbreviation CFO stands for Chief What Officer?
Financial.
Correct. Is N'Djamena or Praia the capital of Chad?
N'Djamena.
Correct. True or false, in social life, gate crashes are guests with invitations?
A wedding.
False. Which Southern African country's flag displays a soapstone bird?
Zimbabwe.
Correct. Which of the 5 senses do you associate with the cochlea?
The eye.
Hearing. Which city is further east, Tokyo or Auckland?
Tokyo.
Auckland. Which US state once belonged to Spain, Florida or New York?
Florida.
Correct. Which is one of the noble gases, helium or fluorine?
Helium.
Correct. To which political party does Glynis Breitenbach belong?
DA.
Correct. True or false? Blood that is low in oxygen is bright red?
False.
Correct. What sport does Kermit Erasmus play?
Cricket.
Soccer. From which language is the term finesse?
French.
Correct. Which country is on the Arabian Peninsula, Iran or Yemen?
Iran.
And the answer is Yemen, so even if it had been in time, which I don't think it was still incorrect. Family is your flesh and blood. I'm sure you're kicking yourself now saying, why didn't I get that? Then you got everything right. I'm not sure what happened with question 10. True or false, in social life, gate crashes are guests with invitations. And you said
the question.
weddings.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. The cochlea is part of the inner ear, so it's associated with hearing. Auckland is a fair bit further east than is Tokyo, and then Kermit Erasmus is a bright young thing playing football in South Africa at the moment. You scored I don't have a score on my screen, so can I have it put up, please, so I can share it with the other contestants? And the judges are 14 is the bar at which you set. Keith, well done. It sometimes is enough to win.
Well done, Keith. Thank you very much. If you could make way for our second contestant, Tuesday's brain of the day, Leslie Scott. Hello, Leslie. Leslie from Stellenbosch. She is a research assistant in the field of psychology. She's been listening to Cape Talk since she moved down to Cape Town 15 years ago. Also, another reader, an avid reader, enjoys reading in her spare time. I wonder psychologically, Leslie, where you're feeling. You're a research assistant in the field of psychology. Psychologically, where are you at?
The usual nerves, I think.
Yes.
And also a reasonable bar has been set going forward. So
Yeah.
I think 14 is quite a strong score to try and beat.
Okay, good stuff.
But it's not 17 or 18.
No.
I think at 14 you have reason to believe that you could quite easily, if things go relatively well for you, match and even better. So good luck to you.
Thank you.
Mario, please start the clock.
3, 2, 1.
Spell the word question.
Question.
Correct. Complete the saying, a thing of beauty is a what forever.
Pass.
Joy. From which movie series is the character Ellen Ripley?
Alien.
Correct. True or false, a rendezvous is an unplanned party?
False.
Correct. In which sport is the former international player Lance Klusener a coach?
Cricket.
Correct. Maths is the short word for which school subject?
Mathematics.
Correct. In which South African province is the city Krugersdorp?
Gauteng.
Correct. The abbreviation R&D stands for what and development?
Research.
Correct. Is Freetown or Brazzaville the capital of Sierra Leone?
Freetown.
Correct. True or false? In literature, the term novel means old?
False.
Correct. Which Southern African country's flag displays a machete?
Mozambique.
Angola. Which of the 5 senses' normal function is described as 20/20?
Vision.
Sight. Correct. Which city is further east, Washington, D.C. or Atlanta?
Atlanta.
Washington, D.C. Which U.S. state once belonged to Mexico, Iowa or Texas?
Texas.
Correct. Which is one of the noble gases, chlorine or neon?
Neon.
Correct. To which of South Africa's political parties does Nzamo Buthelezi belong?
The IFP.
Correct. True or false? Your smallest blood vessels are called veins.
False.
Correct. What sport does Louis Oosthuizen play?
Tennis.
Golf. From which language is the term kamikaze?
Japanese.
Correct. Which country is on the Horn of Africa, Somalia or Libya?
Somalia.
Correct. And in time. Judges in time agreeing. Yep, they are nodding their heads. We completed 20 questions to you, and A Thing of Beauty is a Joy Forever, John Keats. I'm sure you remember the poem now. You said correctly that a rendezvous is not an unplanned party. It is?
It is a get-together planned.
A prearranged.
Pre-arranged.
There we go. Prearranged or planned meeting. Angola's flag has a machete. Mozambique's flag has crossed AK-47s.
That's correct.
I'm sure now you're going, yes, of course. Washington, D.C. You said correctly that the smallest blood vessels are not veins. They are?
Capillaries.
Indeed, they are. And you scored... What did you think you were?
I'm hoping to at least have equalled.
You equalled and bettered. You scored 16.
Oh,
So
that's great.
that bar has been pushed up a couple of notches. Well done.
Well done to Leslie from Stellenbosch, and making way now for Daniel Weber, 38 years old, from Claremont. Wednesday's brain of the day. He's a legal consultant by profession. He's been listening to us at 567 for the last 10 years. This is his 4th attempt. Hello, Daniel.
Hi, morning.
Morning. How are you feeling?
I'm nervous. They've set the bar quite high.
They have set the bar high. 16 to beat.
Yeah, it's a tough
This
one.
is one of the very few people who starts at the beginning of the day, plays the first round with Refilwe, then wins with Leicester, wins with Pippa, and wins twice with me. So he's already won 7,500 Rand. So the extra 10,000 Rand would help. wouldn't
Drinks
it?
on Daniel.
There we go. Daniel, 16 or better, and you're still in the game. 15 or fewer, and I'm afraid you made the trip. Well, we've met you, and I'm sure we've given you some nice tea and biscuits and things. So not too useless a trip. Mario, please start the clock.
3, 2, 1.
Spell the word religion.
Religion.
Correct. Complete the saying. He got up on the wrong side of.
Bed.
Correct. From which movie series is the character Marty McFly?
Back to the Future.
Correct. True or false? A tourniquet is a tight band to
True.
stop. In which sport is Pitso Mosamani a coach?
Soccer.
Correct. Ref is a short word for
Referee.
Correct. In which province is Somerset West?
Western Cape.
Correct. The abbreviation EEA stands for what Equity Act?
Employment Equity Act.
Correct. Is Lagos or Mogadishu the capital of Somalia?
Mogadishu.
Correct. True or false? In geography, a confluence is the joining of streams.
True.
Correct. Which southern African country's flag displays a rifle?
Mozambique.
Correct. Which of the 5 senses do you associate with the conjunctiva?
Eyes.
Correct.
Sight.
Which city is further north, London or New York?
New York.
London. Which US state once belonged to Russia, Washington or
Alaska.
Correct. Which is one of the noble gases, methane or argon?
Argon.
Correct. Which political party does Corne Mulder belong?
The pass.
FF plus. True or false? Your stomach contains hydrochloric acid.
False.
True. What sport does Eben Etzebeth play?
Rugby.
Correct. From which language is the term bon voyage?
French.
Correct. Which countries on the Scandinavian peninsula, Norway or Poland?
Norway.
Correct. In which country is the Formula One racetrack called Zandvoort?
Belgium.
The Netherlands. Which organ is removed during a nephrectomy?
Pass.
Kidney. In which neighboring country is the region Irongo?
Congo.
Namibia. Which red fruit is traditionally the main ingredient of gazpacho soup?
Tomato.
That is correct. Judges, I don't know how we handle the fact that I gave the answer to the flag question when dealing with the previous, with Leslie's questions. I don't know how it's going to change things, if at all. You started like a house on fire, and then geography is the sort of knowledge sector which the junior brains and the adults are worst at. It is the category which gets the fewest correct answers. So London is quite a bit further north than New York. Freedom Front Plus, Mulder belongs to that. Your stomach does contain hydrochloric acid. Then you got them all right. Formula One is in Zandvoort. Francorchamps is the everyone in Belgium, and a kidney is taken away in a nephrectomy. And they will accept his answer, and that means you score 17. So you're in the lead.
You're firing ahead. Well done, Daniel. And Daniel makes way for Douglas. Douglas Jansen, who lives in Tableview, was Thursday's brain of the day. Now, Douglas has got a rather interesting way that he spends his time. Semi-retired, but you make hammocks, or you makes and sells hammocks for a living.
Make and sell, yes.
How on earth did you end up making and selling hammocks?
A story. I worked in a Mexican restaurant, and the chap imported a whole lot of them, and I kind of thought I could make a better product, and then that's how I started.
And that's how it was. Okay,
yes.
Fantastic stuff. He enjoys reading and watching TV, particularly sitcoms and comedies. Let's hope this isn't a comedy, but instead drama.
Yeah, comedy of errors is what you most certainly do not. 17 is the minimum score that you have to attain in order to stay in the game. And let's see how you do. Mario, please start the clock.
3, 2, 1.
Spell the word schedule.
SCHEDULE.
Correct. Complete the saying. If you lose, you throw in the...
Towel.
Correct. From which movie series is the character Captain Jack Sparrow?
From pass.
Pirates of the Caribbean. True or false? A tycoon is a powerful business person.
True.
Correct. In which sport is Steve Pompella a coach?
Football.
Correct. Gym is the short form of which word?
Gymnasium.
Correct. In which province is the town Sasolburg?
Free State.
Correct. The abbreviation GDP stands for gross domestic
Product.
Correct. Is Dakar or Khartoum the capital of Senegal?
Dakar.
Correct. True or false? In religion, the word absolve means blame.
False.
Correct. Which southern African country's flag displays a red rising sun?
Pass.
Malawi. Which of the 5 senses do you associate with a muscle full of papillae?
Sight.
Taste. Which city is further north, Los Angeles or San Francisco?
San Francisco.
Correct. Which US state once belonged to France, Hawaii or Louisiana?
Louisiana.
Correct. Which is one of the noble gases, krypton or nitrogen?
Tripton.
Correct. To which political party does Floyd Shivambu belong?
EFF.
Correct. True or false? Intravenous injections are made into arteries?
True.
False. What sport does Faf du Plessis play?
Cricket.
Correct. From which modern language is the term entrepreneur?
French.
Correct. Which country is on the Balkan Peninsula, Italy or Greece?
Greece.
Correct. In which country is the Formula One racetrack called Monza?
Italy.
Correct. What part of the human body is affected by a craniotomy? You would have
Brain.
got that, the skull.
Skull.
I don't think we would have accepted brain because it's not the mushy bit inside, it's the hard stuff outside. that we look at. Let's go through the questions. Pirates of the Caribbean, Captain Jack Sparrow, with Johnny Depp doing probably the worst overacting that's ever been done in movie history. Malawi's flag has a red rising sun. The papillae are the taste bud cells in your tongue. And then you got everything right after that, indeed. And you scored 17. So we potentially have sudden death.
Oh, that would be exciting. Well done to you, Douglas.
Tasneem, our final contestant, put her hand to her mouth in kind of shocked horror. Oh dear, she was going.
Welcome, Tasneem. Great to have you with us, Tasneem Jainuddin, who is 38 years old. It says here in my notes, you can put 21, you and me both, Tasneem. From Pinelands, was Friday's Bane, and works in IT consultancy. This is your third time playing, but the first time getting to the semi-final.
Yeah.
How are you feeling at this point? I mean, you're old hand at this by now.
No.
No. Okay, good. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Confidence, yes, good.
Right, 18 is what you need to score, at least 18 if you're going to be the outright winner and take home the 10,000 Rand EFT promise. Mario, please start the clock.
3, 2, 1.
Spell the word security.
SECURITY.
Correct. Complete the saying, never look a gift what in the mouth.
Horse.
Correct. From which movie series is the character Michael Corleone?
Pass.
The Godfather. True or false, a labyrinth is a laboratory for COVID-19 research?
False.
Correct. In which sport is Alistair Coetzee a coach?
Rugby.
Correct. Doc is a short word for which profession?
Medical. Doctor.
Correct. In which province is the town Secunda?
Free State.
In Mpumalanga. The abbreviation ROI stands for what on investment?
Return.
Correct. Is Dodoma or Rabat the capital of Tanzania?
Dodoma.
Correct. True or false, in medicine the word vertigo refers to a feeling of dizziness?
True.
Correct. Which southern African country's flag displays a black stripe with white edges?
Botswana.
Correct. Which of the 5 senses do you associate with the dermis and epidermis?
Skin. Touch.
Correct. Which city is further east, Shanghai or Hong Kong?
Shanghai.
Correct. Which US state once belonged to Spain, Pennsylvania or California?
Pennsylvania.
California. Which is one of the noble gases, xenon or hydrogen?
Hydrogen.
Xenon. To which political party does Monsieur Lakota belong?
Cope.
Correct. True or false, the gluteus maximus is a muscle in the buttocks?
True.
Correct. What sport does Ronwen Williams play?
Rugby.
Soccer. From which language is the term nazdorovye?
Russian.
Correct. Which country is on the Iberian Peninsula, Belgium or Portugal?
Portugal.
Correct. In which country is the Formula One racetrack called Interlagos?
Brazil.
It is. So there were a couple of hesitations, which if they hadn't been there, would have meant an extra point. You managed to complete 20 questions. Michael Corleone. I got an offer you can't refuse. Marlon Brando. Sorry. That's given Sarah Jane the best laugh of her week. A labyrinth. I mean, there are a lot of people out there in that other world that might say, yes, labyrinth is a laboratory for COVID-19 research, but it's not. It is a maze with confusing pathways. Secunda is in Mpumalanga. California once belonged to Spain. Xenon is one of the noble gases. And nazdorovia, it means cheers in Russian. So if you're saluting somebody, you say nazdorovia. And we need to find out how many you got. Not enough. 15. But thank you. Thank you very, very much for playing. So we need to get our contestants in for sudden death, which is what we have. We have
Daniel and Douglas.
Daniel and Douglas. And sudden death is, we've got 5 rounds of questions. Each round is on a similar topic. If both get it right, we move on. If both get it wrong, we move on. And at the point at which one contestant gets it right and the other doesn't, then the one that gets it right is the winner and 10,000 Rand richer. We're just waiting for Douglas to get used to the earphones, which he will need. And Daniel, you went first in the main round, so you go first in sudden death. On which continent is the world's deepest lake?
It's in Asia.
It is indeed in Asia. It's Lake Baikal.
Baikal.
It has a depth of 1,642 meters. And then, Douglas, on which continent is the world's highest waterfall?
South America.
Correct. The Angel Falls in Venezuela. So to round 2. Will you please, Daniel, spell the word unconscious?
UNCONSCIOUS.
Correct. Douglas, will you please spell the word requisition?
REQUISTRON.
You missed out an I, I'm afraid. S-I-T. So,
No problem.
thank you very much. Maybe if you'd just taken a little bit more time rather than rushing through it, because I'm sure you know how to spell it. You just, in this circumstance, didn't manage. So congratulations, Daniel.
Thank you, John.
You are the winner.
Congratulations, Daniel. You are our Brain of the Week. You've won 10,000 rand. Drinks definitely are on you. You've won 10,000 rand thanks to CapeTalk and Dis-Chem, a winning mind in a healthy body. Daniel, you'll play again on the final Saturday, of course, of February. And if you're still standing, you'll be crowned the Brain of CapeTalk and win a whopping 20,000 rand.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, good. Well done. Well done to Daniel and to all of our contestants, Keith Whiting, Leslie Scott, Daniel Webber, of course, Douglas Jansen and Tasneem Jan-Oudien, who have taken part today. Join us at the same time next weekend if you want to hear the winners of this week's battle. Battle it out again on the radio right here, or stream this Saturday's show on Facebook. And if you want to watch this round again, you can go to the Cape Talk website after this to watch it all over again.